I'm Ken. I'm here with my homeboy Will. The single this week that we're going to cover, Marvin Gaye and Tammi Terrell. You're all I need to get by.
Ken, this may be the greatest duet in recorded history.
And I can't argue.
I mean,
Sky's blue, water's wet, brother.
Yeah,
you hit it on the head.
You and I have been listening to this song for a while now. You know, prepping for the show, and I'm thinking of duets, and we got a bunch of duets that we're going to cover throughout the weeks to come, the months to come, and I cannot think of another duet that just gets me in the side the way this one does. Those two voices come together the way they do.
This is perfection. There isn't a wrong sound. There isn't a wrong word. There is nothing wrong with this song. It grabs me from the first note.
And for me, what I did not realize for all of the years I've been listening to this song, it's that bass line, right? Coming straight in, that bass line.
James Jamerson was the man. He had his own fan club over in England.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So like whenever they would tour and whatnot, and they got people there with their signs, James Jamerson fan club.
I had no clue. You know, now I know that the musicians on this song are the Funk Brothers.
Yes, the Funk Brothers. That's the name of the studio band. Can't name all of them. I can name James Jamerson. He had an unorthodox way of playing the bass. So like if you ever see pictures of him playing, you'll see it's his picking hand the way he did. I can't remember exactly what he did, but you'll see pictures and be like, oh, that looks different, because it was. But
gotcha. Okay. Now I'm going to have to go look for this guy and watch the way he plays bass on YouTube after the show's over. Now, the interesting thing about this song is I always thought, because Marvin Gaye wrote some of the best songs of all time.
Yes.
In the 70s, right?
Yep.
You know, however, this song was actually written by another duo, Ashford and Simpson.
Solid as a rock, baby.
And that was their big singles hit.
Yeah. In the 80s, after they're like, you know what, we've done everything. Yeah, we've got these songs laying around. Let's just do something for fun.
Hey, I'm going to make a confession right now. Even though I knew they were two different names, I always thought they were the same people. Okay, because I'm an ignorant white kid, right?
Well, they were married.
No. I always thought that Ashford and Simpson and Peaches and Herb were the same group.
Oh, yeah.
Reunited, and it feels okay. Yeah, solid as a rock. I thought it was the same group. It wasn't until years later I was like, oh, they're two different couples. I'm such an idiot, man. Anyway, but let's talk about Marvin Gaye and Tammi Terrell, because the way they sing together, Ain't No Mountain High Enough, right?
You can hand those to a Denny's menu.
You know, what's the Your Precious Love? Right?
Yeah.
You know, you would think these two were married for 20 years.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not 20. Before 7. You know? Okay. They're still in the honeymoon phase, but they're not. They're just friends.
Yeah. Straight platonic, man.
I had no clue. And Tammi Terrell is not somebody, when we think of Motown, Marvin Gaye,
Diana Ross,
Temptations,
Stevie,
Four Tops.
Boom, boom, boom.
Come on, man, Jackson.
Well, Jackson, Smokey.
Right. List goes on. I think she might be my favorite.
Yeah, and that's not a name that instantly pops to people's minds.
Right, and let me tell you why. Because I've listened to most of the Motown albums that were released. Not the singles. Everybody's heard the singles because they're so ingrained in American, culture. However, I've listened to her and Marvin's duet albums, okay? And by far, from track 1 to track 10, 12, whatever, they are 3 of the best Motown releases of the 1960s, bar none. I've listened to all the Supreme albums. The Supremes had great singles, and we're going to do one in a few weeks. But their albums, man, I can't listen to those album tracks. It's all filler. It's like 3 number 1 hits and filler, or 2 number 1 hits and all filler.
Yeah.
Like 0 album tracks I would want to listen to from the Supremes. That's not even a knock on them, man. They were great.
Yeah.
Most popular girl outfit ever, right?
Yep.
Like as a group, But the albums, man, the Temptations, hit or miss. Stevie in the 60s, better. but hit or miss.
Yeah.
It was in the 70s, Stevie's like, you can't touch Stevie in the 70s.
Do no wrong, yeah.
But man, those Marvin Gaye and Tammi Terrell albums from Motown were classics. And after listening to them, we are going to review the complete You're All I Need album from 1968, where this track is from. But United from 1967, another great album. Easy from 1969. And there's some, because Tammy was so sick, which I want you to get into in a second, there's some questions on if she sang throughout the album, because some people think it was Valerie Simpson who sang throughout the album. But it doesn't matter, man. It says Tammy. And to hear her story, I want to believe it's her, because her voice was so great on these albums when she could, sing. And anyway, man, it was a tragic story. For those people out there, Ken, why don't you explain what happened with Tammi Terrell?
Tammy, poor girl. She passed at 24, just a month or so shy of her 25th birthday. And I want to say it was brain cancer that she was suffering from, to the point where one of their last performances together, her and Marvin's last performances, she collapsed in his arms. And, he caught her. Again, like you hit on the head, they had such a tight friendship that when she did ultimately succumb to her illness, it messed him up. He went into reclusion, seclusion, sabbatical, whatever you want to call it. But that's where
then emerged with one of the greatest albums of all time.
And if you look, what's going on? And if you look, the before and after. Before, he was clean cut, and well sharp and dapper and everything. Yep. And then, not a fro, but his hair's grown out. He's got a full beard, an earring, very urban looking. And I remember as a kid, because we had the What's Going On album.
Right.
And we listened to Tammi Terrell. And I would look at the pictures as a little boy and be like, it's the same guy? He's clean cut. And I always wondered what happened. Then I got older. Yeah. And I learned about, what happened to Tammy. It's like, oh, I get it. It all makes sense now.
Right. And, in a way, right, it's the difference between being in your 20s and in your 30s, man, after you've lived a little bit of life.
Yep.
And it is. Death affects people that way. There's no getting around it, man. When someone you're close to dies, you feel that. You don't feel like
it's going to have an effect. You are correct.
You don't feel like getting up in the morning. You don't feel like going to work. It's reality. And so if they had that type of connection, when I hear this song, when I first heard it, I just thought, man, what a beautiful love song. But then digging deeper, and by that I mean Wikipedia, anyway, but digging deeper, then you find out, man, she was singing this song recovering from brain surgery, man.
Yeah. Crazy.
And then to still hit those notes. And to still have that chemistry with Marvin.
That magic, between the two of them.
And it's funny because I looked for like live performances and you just can't find them, man. Like there aren't live performances of Tammy and Marvin in concert. You're just not going to see them. But there's a TV appearance of them doing Ain't No Mountain High Enough, I believe. And I think it's Ain't No Mountain High Enough. And the only thought going through my brain was, what did cancer rob us of? What could have happened in this woman's career if she didn't die from cancer? It's the only thing going through my head because she was so talented.
Yeah. I often wonder that too. I'm like, what would they be doing today? Since both of them had a tragic story ending, if you will, I wonder what would they do? How would they sound today? What else would we have from that magic? What else would have produced for us?
And this is all new to me, man. When I heard this song, when I heard Ain't No Mountain High Enough, Your Precious Love, this song, I didn't know any of this stuff, man. This is all stuff you learn later on in life.
You're right. And being able to go back and listen to it with those ears, which thankfully we can still do that. And thankfully we don't get hung up or brought down by the gravity of their lives. We're still able to enjoy the music and enjoy the song.
And an iconic duo, right?
Oh,
when we talk about these songs, these are songs that are still played at weddings. These are songs that you're going to hear on the radio. On
Show enough.
Show enough.
Boom.
Right? Hey, think about that saying, right? Show enough, right? Yeah. And that's kind of the crescendo of the song. How is that not ingrained into like just our everyday talk?
Yeah, because I believe that was the first time "Show Enough" was used in a song.
If you can think of another time, man, let me know.
Nope, not a song. In that movie Last Dragon, but not in a song. Also out of Motown.
Wait. Is Last Dragon, is that a Bruce Leroy?
Yeah. Oh, God. I did that. I said that.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, man. God, okay. Now you're showing our childhood. So,
yes.
So we are children of the 80s, so look up Bruce Leroy, Last Dragon. But don't blame us if you actually sit through the whole thing. Anyway.
We were kids. Anyway.
Yeah. So I had already said at the beginning of this show, maybe the greatest duet in pop history. Now, I'm not thinking of stuff from like bands like Hall & Oates, because to me, Hall & Oates, yeah, they're a duo, famous duo, right? Or the Everly Brothers, where they're harmonizing together.
And they were built that way, whereas these two were individuals who had individual careers who came together. So, yeah. A duo,
right? And so that's kind of like where I'm like drawing the line. I'm talking more of like this compared to one of our favorites, and we talked about Otis Redding on an earlier episode, but him and Carla Thomas.
True.
So for me, I love both sets. Right, I love Tammi and Marvin. I love Carla and Otis, but there's a huge difference, man.
Oh, you hear it, and it is Motor City, USA, aka Motown, up north. It's polished, not professional, but it is.
No, it's professional.
It's polished. And yes, both professional, but this is definitely not even say manufactured, but they have it down to a degree.
Even this is manufactured, man, because it's just. I'm not saying it doesn't have heart and soul to it.
You're true, and I'm hesitating, but no, you're right. You're spot on. It is polished. It is professional. It is manufactured. They had their system down. Motown had it down to the T. Whereas you go to Stax,
Otis and Carla,
where you're down south, and Motown, they're playing the Apollo. Down south, they're playing the Chitlin Circuit.
Exactly.
And again, they got the two microphones, one for the singer, one to get the band in the room. What you hear is what you get. Hey, how many takes we're doing? If we take more than one, somebody's getting their pay cut.
One's choreographed dancing, one is just dancing.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I keep thinking, Diana Ross, who did she do Endless Love with? Was that Lionel
Richie?
Doesn't match this. Not in my head. I mean,
it was a great duet, but you're right. It won't match this. And
Neil Diamond, Barbra Streisand, You Don't Bring Me Fun. No.
And the great thing about this song, these duets that you mentioned, these artists, there's not a one of them who would disagree with us saying that this is probably the greatest duet of all time, and that this song, they would sit here and be like, yep, nope, you're right. They need to sing. Hand them a Denny's menu. Whatever they want to sing, we'll just sit and listen.
Now, to be fair, this song was around before you and I were born. This is not from our childhood.
This is true.
However, on our next show, we're going to talk about a duet that was from our childhood.
Ah, yes.
Okay? And they weren't playing the Chitlin Circuit or the Apollo.
Yeah.
Right?
If you have any knowledge you'd like to share about this song, if you have any comments you'd like to share about this song, or happy memories, or anything, please send us a post, drop us a line.
If you're a fan of Marvin Gaye, what's your favorite Marvin Gaye song? What song would you like for us to listen to from Marvin Gaye? Marvin Gaye and Tammi Terrell had a huge amount of hits. What's your favorite Marvin Gaye and Tammi Terrell song?
Even if it wasn't a hit, what is your favorite song? Share it with us.
That's right. We definitely want to hear from you. But until next time, bye-bye.